And we're back here for our winner's set here for Group P, the final group for today and in the entire event until we move into the round of 32. We're going to have Cloud Kingdom up next, Complexity's Trimaster against IMlosira. Losira spawning down here at the bottom left as our blue Zerg, opting for our hatch first. And then up here at the top right, we have Complexity's Trimaster as our green Terran, and Trimaster coming through Envy's Moonglade, and of course Losira coming through MVP's SC, both of them already experienced in the matchup. So let's see how that warm-up goes into this next match. We have, of course, Trimaster's recent stint in the MVP house. Oh, he did actually get that drone. That's unexpected coming in from Losira, but it looks like he's also going to go for the same build that he did against Moonglade, which is going to be that one axe into expand. But as we did notice in the last game, the way he builds it, especially into that cloaked banshees and the reactors, is very vulnerable to a mid-game attack. So let's see if Losira can pick onto that.
Any earlier mid-game attack, and I mean, it really just depends on the way Losira is feeling. I don't think he'd be likely to do that in game one, but maybe if, you know, he gets a good read on the build and then just decides to go for it game number two. Because a lot of the times with... Well, I guess it depends on how much he played with Trimaster when he was in Korea. That's really hard to say because the houses do practice with each other a decent amount. It has kind of dropped off a little bit. So if Trimaster did stick with mostly just the MVP guys, and he won't have much of a read. But if he had been playing with the other Koreans, he might have gotten an idea of his style and just go for it.
Yeah, very true. We do have the double gas down now in the main for Trimaster, and noticing like one big difference between Losira and Glade's style is Glade went for a couple of Zerglings to see what was going on in the natural there. Losira opts not to do that at all. He might actually go for that really quick third hatchery. He's already got his queens out now. He can do so safely. The downside to the third hatch on this map is it's really difficult to get the creep to it really quickly. So you pretty much got to have units already in position to stop any kind of aggression coming forward. Now, he will have Overlords in a nice position here. He's going to come in and see that the command center has been gone down. And we're going to see React and Hellions follow up here for Trimaster as well. But again, this map doesn't help out with Hellions all that much.
This map is interesting when it comes to the creep, because like, it's a slow start on the creep, but if you get it going and the Terran player doesn't delay it at all, it gets out of control really fast. So, it's really going to depend. We have seen that Trimaster does like specifically going after the creep tumors, so I don't think that's going to be too big of an issue. He has been slowing it down whenever he gets an opportunity. But I'm just really curious to see when Losira goes for this third base timing, if he decides to get aggressive in the May game or not, because it seems like this build that Trimaster is going for again, it's pretty much the same as we saw before, and like any aggression here, there's a rather large window. It's more like a barn door actually. Before he adds those extra 8 barracks, he just doesn't have an army, but he uses the Hellion and Banshee aggression to make it look like he's making more units than he is.
Well, Losira, if anyone is going to pick up on it, I think Losira would be one of those.
Losira is making the third hatch as a macro hatch at the front door, which sometimes does lead into aggression a little bit more. You know, he's not going for the quick third base. He's adding extra gas as well. We could see Losira switching into some mid-game aggression here in a minute.
Yeah, we could. We do see double Evo Chamber coming down for him as well. So at the very least, if he gets a scout on one of those one of the Banshees coming through, he will be able to actually get some Spine Crawlers down. So with the third command center up in the main now for a Trimaster, he's going to be moving into this same build we saw him use. But if it works, you don't touch it. So that's really what his game plan is. Whoa, he's actually nice job actually right there. I thought it was a mistake, but he's actually gotten in a position to take down those creep tumors, which is really nice. We do have a Baneling nest on the way. We do have a Baneling nest on the way from Losira now, so.
And he still hasn't gone for a third hatch. He's just making that Baneling nest. He's got the Queens forward to defend against the Hellions, but the problem is this could be good for Trimaster because the Queens are off creep while he is trying to get that Banshee around. Where did the Banshee go?
It's down here at the natural. It's moving across the watchtower on the right now.
Okay, there we go. I thought it was farther out on the map already, but it did fly past that Overlord. So Losira saw it, and he's making a couple more Queens to deal with this. Still no sign of the third hatch. Okay, he is sending a drone down there now, but I'm curious to see if he's going to add like a Roach War into this or like go for a bust or something like that.
Yeah, we do see the third hatch down now, instantly spotted by Trimaster. Of course, there's no units down on the field. Where is that Banshee? Here he is. He's in the main and going to work on that Queen. Of course, Lair has started Spore Crawlers everywhere for IMlosira right now, and he's gonna have a hard time dealing with this because he's gonna lose one Queen. Looks like he just wanted to get that inject off just before it goes down. A smart move, and that Spore Crawler is gonna be up in a second. So.
He also managed to buy some time by making the Banshee chase the Queen.
He just took like 3/4 of the health damage on that while it was going through, and he's going to run out of energy in a second. We do see the second Banshee coming down into this third base now. However, Lair is done. We're going to have an Overseer, and all the Queens for IMlosira are going to be able to throw this back.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good by IMlosira as well, because the Banshee was chasing the Queen, which is, he had another Queen being built, so if he lost the Queen, it wasn't the biggest deal. But this second Banshee has just sort of stalled itself, picking away on the third hatch. Not really doing anything here. That's not the best use of the time for the Banshee. Trimaster finally realizes what's happening, but that has given IMlosira time to gather all these Queens. Oh my god.
Yeah, not working out too well. We do see the Banshee and the Hellions going to work on this hatchery. Now, it's in quite low HP right now. The Queens are trying to come in. Here come the Zerglings to help deal with the Hellions as well. But with nice control, Trimaster should still be able to get away with all of his units if he pays attention to the Banshee, and he's not going to. Okay.
Oh, he's done that a few times already this game, not paying enough attention to that Banshee. And he's got a lot of Queens out, so he will be able to throw a few extra transfuses at this hatchery if he wants, because his creep tumors are running pretty well, besides those first two that got killed. The others are spreading quite nicely. He's getting some nice vision in the center of the map. And we do see the extra barracks coming up now, but Trimaster didn't get all of them up at the same time. There's not as many barracks as in the previous games as well. He's only sitting on the 7 instead of the 9. That's possibly just because the third command center, he moved it down a little bit earlier, so he's been trying to make usage of that extra mule. And we'll see, like, IMlosira's drone count is actually going to be going up into the high 90s here in a second.
Well, that will give him the ability to be quite aggressive if he wants to. Of course, he does see what's going on. He's going to lose this Overlord due to the Medivac, but that's not really that big of a deal to him right now. We also see him spreading the creep quite nicely. He's actually up on the upgrades right now, and he's going to keep that upgrade lead fairly significantly. It's going to be only going to be a short window when the upgrades are the same. At the same time, we got a fourth base going down here for IMlosira. And
he's going for the armor upgrade on the Spire, interestingly enough. And yeah, there we go. He is actually going to start some Mutalisks now, but he wants to just have them be a little bit more robust against the Marines, especially if you're not going to be moving into the Broodlords. The armor upgrade can be really good for the Mutas in the mid-game, because the Terran players have been focusing on the upgrades, and the armor really just mitigates the bounces so that they don't do very well against the ground units. And we see a little strike force coming in here at the third base, but IMlosira's army is in position to actually stop this.
Oh, it's going to be very close, though. 47 HP. He's going to lose that Medivac as well. We do see Trimaster coming out in the middle of the map, trying to clear out this creep. And as we've seen, like, looking at the army size, it's actually in favor of IMlosira, 69 to 59. And he's actually going to catch a lot of these Marines now, though, with these Zerglings in the middle of the map, and the Mutas are coming in to clean up that Medivac as well. This is going to be really frustrating for Trimaster right now, as he's going to now be aggressed on his third base. He does have tanks in nice positions to defend this. However, with the turrets down, the Mutas can actually fly into the main and do damage there as well. He's sitting in a really good spot on the left-hand side of that command center to help do damage. Now he's going to come back in against those Marines right as some mules have dropped down, and looks like IMlosira will be forced to pull back, but still a really good trade for him right there, looking at the resources lost. 1950 to 3175. So with his fourth base up and running now, he can continue this aggression. He's going to be up on the upgrades. Well, actually, even right. No, it is up. Yeah, 1-1 versus 2-2. And he's going to have that +1 armor is done for his Mutas as well. They're going to stay alive a lot longer versus this Marine heavy force.
He hasn't quite started the infestation pit yet, which you'd expect, seeing as he is in a really good spot right now as well. He can throw that down. He's got the resources. It's not really that big of an investment. He's going to catch a couple of Marines over here trying to make their way around to the third base once again, because it's so low health. He just wanted to try and snipe it, but he got intercepted. Nice little Overlord positioning, giving that away as well. And I'm surprised he hasn't thrown some transfusions on that. He does have still a pretty good number of Queens. He's sitting at 5, but he's just choosing not to go after that right now. And now he's making a lot of Zerglings and Banelings instead of actually dropping that infestation pit.
Yeah, very true. At the same time, we do see a couple of these mutas getting caught. None of them actually dying at the moment, though, as TriMaster is trying to move forward yet again, but the army supply here is now much higher. Actually, no, it's pretty even, but there's a lot of economy here for IMlosira as he is coming through. Tanks on the low ground in a nice spot, but he's going to target them down with the tanks as he's rolling in to try and deal with a lot of this Bioforce, and there's just so much stuff here. TriMaster's doing a great job of splitting his army, but it's just not going to be enough. And now the Medivacs are going to go down. He's going to continue on here. There is another tank, but he will lose that to this Mutaflock at the same time. And IMlosira is just not stopping here, Relkin. He can keep going up into the high ground here as well. We've got Baneling coming into the third mineral line. He's going to get quite a few SCVs there as well. Oh, he's actually going to cut him off.
Oh! Well, going to cut these. Oh my god. And there's 80 Zerglings popping out of the hatcheries. So the second wave is going to be quite strong. Actually stopping to make more Banelings. This hatchery is still really low, and I was just looking to see if there are any Ninja Marines anywhere on the map, but there aren't. TriMaster hasn't been able to split up his army like he was able to in that last game. He's trying to switch into that Thor production, like, because he's just doing the same general build, but there's no expensive units for this Thor to be dealing with. It's just the Marines, and the Zerglings and Banelings, excuse me, and with the armor upgrade on the Mutalisks, they're going to be able to take a couple more shots from that Thor as well.
Yeah, and he's going to come into the natural now with a lot of these mutas going to be able to take down that turret really quickly. His upgrades are 1-0, remember, and he's going to get a lot of these SCVs. Looking at the units tab, it's 53 workers to 91, and now IMlosira is now maxed out yet again. 200 to 125, he can go in whenever he wants to, and I don't see TriMaster surviving this next attack, like, at all.
Yeah, the Mutalisks are the big difference in the strategy from when we saw Moonglade trying to do the same thing with the Zerglings and Banelings. Like, the Mutalisks just give him more presence on the map. He's able to keep TriMaster back in his base. He's got a lot more map control because of it, and now TriMaster's just a little bit fearful. His army is really small. He can't do anything. He just has to sit and defend, which is why I'm a little bit curious that IMlosira isn't continuing to tech. He's in a really good position with 4 bases, 5th one on the way, but he's just going for the kill move right now.
Yeah, it's because he wants to end the game right now. These orbitals actually on quite low health as they come through here because of the Banelings from earlier, and now we do see a lot of these Zerglings leading the charge, but now TriMaster is stuck in this position. All these Banelings are trading, but they're not doing very well at it, but there's just an extra batch that doesn't actually make a difference. The Banelings themselves cleaning everything up. We got the Zerglings have forced the lift ups over there on the extra units. We got the mutas coming on top of that Thor. Now he's going to get a lot of these Medivacs down at the same time, and it looks like with the reinforcements coming out, he may barely be able to hold this off, but he's now significantly behind IMlosira. He's tripled the supply. It's going to come down to can he clear these out, and then the next wave is going to finish him off. Especially with IMlosira now going to Hive.
That was a really good job holding back the mutas. A lot of people would send the mutas in with the first wave, but he knew with that attack that the mutas would be really good at just playing the cleanup force after the Banelings rolled through. And he is going to get forced away, but he did a really good job, and he's actually taken down the number of Marines in the next wave. And there's one last muta trying to take out that orbital command by itself, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and we do see the reinforcement Zerglings coming in, and this is where TriMaster realizes how far behind he actually is. We also have the bottom right-hand baseman taken behind of all of this for IMlosira, and there's the GG. IMlosira will go 1-0 in this winners match. We'll be right back after a 2-minute break and see if he can actually take 2-0 and advance to the round of 32.